I kept buying worms, adding them carefully to my beds, and watching them disappear within weeks. No matter how many times I restocked, the soil stayed lifeless and compacted. Then one low-cost, overlooked material flipped everything upside down. Cardboard didn't just attract worms. It created the conditions they actually need to stay, multiply, and work for you. This is the method that finally turned my soil into a living system. And once you understand why it works, you'll never spend money on worms again. This guide is built specifically for Nature's Blueprint gardeners who want real results, not gardening myths. Worms don't move into soil just because they are placed there. They stay only when moisture, food, temperature, and protection are right. Most raised beds and garden plots honestly fail on at least two of those fronts. Bare soil dries too fast. Disturbed soil collapses worm tunnels. Synthetic inputs burn delicate biology. Buying worms without fixing the environment is, well, like stocking fish in a dry pond. Cardboard changes the environment first, which is exactly why it works when everything else fails. Cardboard is compressed carbon fibre. When laid flat on soil, it blocks light, traps moisture, and feeds microbes as it slowly breaks down. That microbial bloom is what worms actually eat. Worms don't consume cardboard directly. They consume the fungi and bacteria that colonize it. Modern soil biology confirms that carbon-rich surface layers dramatically increase microbial diversity, which directly correlates with higher worm populations. When cardboard is applied correctly, it creates cool, dark, moist conditions within days. Earthworms sense this immediately and migrate upward from surrounding soil. You are not importing worms, you are inviting them. This is why the cardboard method outperforms purchased worms every single time. It works with natural movement patterns instead of fighting them. Start with plain cardboard only. Remove all tape, glossy ink, and labels. Lay the cardboard directly on the soil surface, overlapping edges slightly to prevent light gaps. Water the cardboard thoroughly until it is fully saturated. Dry cardboard repels worms. Wet cardboard attracts them. Cover the cardboard with 5 to 8 centimeters of organic mulch such as straw, wood chips or leaf litter. This layer slows decomposition while maintaining moisture. Within 1 to 2 weeks, worms begin moving in. And, within 1 to 2 months, worm activity becomes visible. Worms breathe through their skin. If soil dries out, they leave or, they die. Cardboard acts like a moisture lock, preventing evaporation while still allowing airflow. Research shows that mulched, cardboard-covered soil retains moisture far longer than bare soil, even under heat stress. Consistent moisture is really the single biggest reason cardboard succeeds, where worm purchases, they often fail. As cardboard breaks down, fungi bind it with soil particles, forming stable humus. And, interestingly, this all happens without any digging, mixing or disturbing those existing soil layers. Earthworms, in their own way, pull fragments downward, distributing organic matter naturally. This, in fact, mirrors forest floor systems, which produce deep, fertile soil without the need for compost piles or tillage. A common fear is nitrogen lockup. This only happens when cardboard is buried. Surface application avoids this problem almost entirely. For faster results, water the soil before laying cardboard with compost tea. Use 1 shovel of finished compost steeped in 10 litres of water for 12 hours. Strain and apply evenly. This inoculates the system with microbes that accelerate breakdown without starving plants. Why raised beds benefit even more. Raised beds dry out faster than ground soil. Cardboard slows that loss dramatically. It also prevents soil collapse from heavy watering while creating protected zones where worms can thrive year-round. Gardeners using cardboard in raised beds often see worm populations multiply faster than in-ground systems. Buying worms, compost and soil amendments, well, that mostly treats the symptoms. Cardboard, on the other hand, treats the whole system. Once worms get established naturally, they just keep reproducing, aerate the soil, cycle nutrients, and improve the structure, all for free. This is exactly why cardboard-based systems become more productive every season, instead of degrading like many others. You'll want to apply cardboard in the spring or fall when soil moisture is naturally higher and temperatures are, moderate. Worms are most active during these times. Summer applications still work, but they really do need consistent watering to prevent drying out. There are some common mistakes that can sabotage your success. Leaving cardboard dry actually repels worms. Using glossy or treated cardboard introduces toxins, which is definitely something to avoid. Gaps in your coverage let weeds survive, and removing mulch exposes the whole system. Cardboard works best when it stays moist, shaded and undisturbed. Patience really does matter here. Worms respond to stability, not to constant interference. Here's why this method can, replace buying worms forever. Worms, well, they don't really want to be bought. What they're looking for is habitat. Cardboard, surprisingly, provides food, shelter, moisture and safety all in one simple step. Once those conditions are in place, worms just show up and stick around. No more ongoing costs. Honestly, this is soil biology done right. If this guide has helped you save money and maybe shifted the way you think about worms and soil, go ahead and subscribe to Nature's Blueprint for more proven biology-first gardening systems. And feel free to share this with anyone who's still buying worms instead of building habitat. The soil really knows what to do when we just stop getting in the way.